This fascinating little panel is about adapting scripts, and I don't have any sort of fascinating audio-visual type presentation to give you with this, so I'll just have to kind of answer your questions and fill you in, let you know what goes on with the process of what I was actually doing in my room right before I came here. But if I were doing it, it would just be on this little laptop screen, and you really wouldn't be able to see what I was doing there anyway. The first question everybody always says, like when I mention that I do the script adaptation thing, is they say, "Oh, so you speak Japanese?" No, I don't. The translators speak Japanese, and that is a totally different job. The job of the translator is to take something that was in one language and convert it into another language. Is what their job is. And essentially, what I think of is the translation that is produced. The same translation goes to the person who is preparing the subtitles, and the person that is doing the script that will be used for the dubbing process. So there's only one translation. And they have really two completely different goals in mind. And the person that's doing the translation isn't really thinking about all of the factors that come into play when I'm working with the script for recording processes. But to start off with for subtitling, because I did used to do this actually many years ago, adapting the subtitled scripts, and the idea is subtitles are there because you don't know what they're saying. You don't understand this language, so you need a brief kind of synopsis of what the heck is going on there. And the point is that this is a visual media. You want to watch the show, so the person writing the subtitles has to get across the point as concisely as possible. There's no room for a lot of expounding and flowery language and all of that kind of thing. You've just kind of got to get to just the meat of what's going on. So the translation as it first comes out is going to be changed no matter whether it's being converted into subtitles or whether it's being converted into a script that people are going to speak. Some parts of it may get added onto, some parts may be cut out, but that's why I'm saying there's two entirely different aims. The one aim of the subtitler is that you're able to follow along the story, you have enough information going on. It's kind of like a commentary track, if you want to think of it like that. Just telling you this is what they're saying, basically. And then you're supposed to kind of get the rest of it just by watching what they're doing. When it's being recorded, however, we're trying to accomplish this goal of the words actually fit in the little mouth movements. And Western audiences are accustomed to this, and we like this. The reason why usually if you're watching anime in Japanese with subtitles, and you'll notice sometimes that the mouth movements don't really line up exactly with the dialogue, is it's very, very expensive to procure studio time in Japan. So they don't really have the time to sync everything up. The animation is being done at the same time that they're recording the dialogue. They don't have time to get it all perfectly matched up. They've got a deadline to meet. It's got to be on TV. The budgets are tight, so that's the reason. And people have just kind of gotten used to, well, that's how it is. It's not so much that they like it. That's just how it is. Now, I just spent a week in Tokyo, and I can tell you that when they're dubbing a cartoon from another country, they do lip sync it. It is synced up perfectly. It looks beautiful. I watched Moomin, which is a Swedish cartoon, and I watched another cartoon that was French. I couldn't understand a damn thing they were saying because it was Japanese. But in any case, it's synced up. They do sync it up. And on high-end films like a Miyazaki, a Ghibli film, they would do it in a Western style where they record the dialogue first and match everything up. When they're dubbing a foreign language program, you know, a live action film, a cartoon, anything that's imported over there, they will take the time to do it the way we dub anime. So there's a lot of subtle differences in this. Now, when I'm writing a script that's going to be recorded in English, I have to, again, take into account all those little crazy mouth movements and adapt those lines somehow to fit in whatever those mouth movements are. If there need to be more words, less words, whatever. The overriding concern for me is the original intent of the line, of the story. So I have to always have that in my mind. So just because something was changed, like the original translation might have said, wow, isn't it a beautiful day today? And I had to change it to, it's a nice day. I have not radically changed the concept of what was being conveyed in that sentence. So that's, you know, the general thing. I'm not trying to radically change anything that was being said. It's just got to convey basically the same meaning. Of course, one of the problems that you run into is a lot of things that may be like a cultural reference or a wordplay or a pun, a joke, that kind of thing. And I think we all pretty well do know that when you have to explain a joke, it's not funny. So if the original intent of this exchange of dialogue is that it's funny, there's a joke that's being told, then that is the experience that every person watching that scene should have. If they're watching it in Swahili or Polish or English, whatever language they're watching it in, it should still be funny. So even if they're not saying exactly the same thing, you want to try to get kind of the same basic concept across. Oh, this guy tells bad puns, or, you know, whatever it is. You've got to try to get that same basic concept across. Sometimes it is really, really difficult because there's just not an English equivalent. Sometimes there is an English equivalent, and in that case, it's just awesome, and I feel like I'm a genius. You know, I think it's great. I had this one I just finished with volume 5 of The Wallflower, which, by the way, we're going to be doing a screening of the first 2 episodes of The Wallflower tomorrow. I'm doing this live commentary on that. Anyway, so The Wallflower is the project I'm working on right now. And there was a scene where there are 2 people that are about to get into a fight. And the other characters, in discussing the fight, the lines that they're saying, they're actually saying the lines to a well-known 70s pop song. So if I just use the exact translation, it's not funny to you. You don't get it. There's no joke. And there's no time to put a paragraph on the screen and then you have to pause it and really go, oh, well I'm sure that was quite humorous in Japanese when they were having this exchange of lines from that 70s pop tune. I mean, then, you know, you've just blown the whole thing. That wasn't the point. But what I found out is that by using some of the words from Tina Turner's song, we don't have to fight no more, it fit exactly. And I was like, oh, I am so awesome! You know, and so they were saying like, I don't care who's wrong or right. We don't really have to fight no more. And it was like, it was fitting the lip flaps, and it was rocking my world totally. Anyway, so watch for that, okay? Watch that a little bit, and you'll love it. And I was so excited about it. Now, this is really funny. I was very excited about it. I was so thrilled that I had come up with this great idea, and that it fit, and it was going to totally work. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a song from the 80s, and the Tina Turner song was from like 1993, but close enough. Same idea, song about not fighting, whatever. I run up to tell my husband that I have come up with this brilliant idea and it's going to fit, and he doesn't know the freaking song. I said, you have got to be kidding me. It was like, and so then I have to go and look it up on Wikipedia and everything. It was like the most popular song of 1992. It won like all of these awards and Grammys, and it's like, I actually went to a website and I played the song and I said, you are telling me you have never heard. He had never heard that song. This is completely irrelevant to this panel, I understand. He had never heard that song before, but it fit and it was awesome. Okay, it was awesome. So that is really basically the point.